I know I'm super late to this whole meme spectacular, but I just got my computer back. I just got to my new location, so I want to be able to indulge in the Baby Yoda lifestyle too. I'm still not gonna buy Disney Plus, but I want to take part in the memery. I give you Baby Yoda. Hey stranger, how you doing? This is probably new to you, but I decided to start using this channel for a little bit of an experiment type thing, seeing as how I am still drawing and probably going to be drawing for a long time on book 2 and coloring and getting ready to publish that. I didn't want the channel to be idle for too long, and that's kind of what's happening. So I've decided to kind of put some of the things that I couldn't put on my more political channel or more woke channel, and I've decided to transfer those things to this channel. So I've decided to start doing reviews again. And it just so happens the last movie I saw was The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, that's the name of the movie. If that isn't a sign of what I really thought of the movie, I don't know what is. But for the most part, I'll be putting reviews here of movies that I like. They're probably not all going to be new movies. Some of them are going to be older movies. I've done a lot of reviews in my past, so I'll just pick it up right where I left off. But just a little bit about how my reviews work. And if you need, there'll be time codes all in the description and all in this somewhere on the screen. So you can fast forward through this if you're already familiar with how I do my reviews. But for all you newcomers, thanks for coming. Some things you should know: I don't give number reviews in my video reviews. I kind of just give a description, and I do the good, the bad, and the truth. The truth is always going to be a spoiler version, but before I give you the truth, I'll usually give you what I thought. That hurt. But before I give my truth, I'll give you an honest review of the good and the bad and my rating of the video in my style. So expect a non-spoiler in the beginning, spoiler at the end. Everything will be marked, and I'll give a clear indication before I start spoiling some shit for you guys in this review. So without keeping y'all waiting, let's Philip DeFranco this shit.
Let's just jump into it.
A small caveat before we start. I haven't seen episodes 1 through 6 because we're at episode 9. So I haven't seen the prequels. I haven't seen the originals from the 70s. I haven't seen any form of Star Wars past the trilogy we're currently on. So from Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. I haven't seen past this. So all of my information and everything I know about Star Wars either comes from random clips, like, you know, everyone knows this sequence. But other than that, or some integrated part or special names or this bullshit like that, I'm not going to know the name of it. So this is going to be the most straight up review as far as no bias from the past or from the future. I only know this and Baby Yoda, of course. Everyone loves Baby Yoda. That's the caveat. So let's talk about the good. I really enjoyed this trilogy. I enjoyed this trilogy beyond just comprehension of, oh, it's a new Star Wars movie. This was my jumping off point. Rey is my Skywalker. Rey is my protagonist. She is somebody I feel personal connection to because as a writer and a comic book illustrator, my main protagonist is a female. So I'm always looking for ways to amplify my character, and Rey has a lot of qualities that you want to have in a protagonist: conflict resolution, a deeper meaning, a mystery behind them. And these are things that you got when The Force Awakens came out. A lot of people compared The Force Awakens to A New Hope. It was basically you rewatching the very first Star Wars movie, which I can appreciate because that was my intro. And maybe if that movie was ever remastered or redone, well, it's been remastered, but if it was ever remade, like shot for shot with today's graphics and today's standards, I might dive into it. But there's something about that 70s gloss that I can't do. I'll fall asleep during the movie. I've done it twice. So I really enjoyed seeing Rey grow up. And now we've gotten to this movie, and what we have is more of that growth. We see her in her element. We see her mastering the skill sets that she's done in the past. There's actually a lot of great scenes with her that make me want to know more about her, and I kind of just wish the story followed her more than anything. But there's a lot more going on, because as much as I love Rey, she is not my favorite character in this movie. My favorite character is Adam Driver's character, Kylo Ren. And this introduced me to Adam Driver. His ability to chew up scenery with the fewest amount of words and just this look of anguish. You feel that in these movies. Even when he has the mask on, I was perplexed why they brought the mask back. Maybe, you know what? I know why. Toys. Lots and lots of toys, because that's where the money is, kids. But there was a part of me that really felt for a split second like, damn, Kylo, you've had the greatest arc in this movie. Like, he really has. And that's not setting shade on Rey or anybody else, but I really enjoyed seeing his arc. And I felt like his arc had come to a conclusion in The Last Jedi, but was I so wrong. But I really enjoyed what he got, even though he didn't get that much in this movie. Acts 1 and 2 of Kylo Ren were pretty impressive. Remember that, though, because I'm going to come back to that in the truth. Let's talk about the rest of the cast. Princess Leia is as I like to see it, she passed away untimely before she could finish filming this movie. And there were, I don't know, you can tell the parts that are CGI or where there's like some special effects, but the parts where she is naturally there, what a haunting feeling that must be, because it blends so well. I couldn't tell, and I'm happy that they put her to rest appropriately, both in life and in this movie. To only see her in the form of a ghost would be okay with me, but you know, there's a big debate about that right now, so I don't know. But whatever her family wishes, I hope they get it, and I hope these mega corporations respect people's wishes, especially in death. But I really enjoyed Princess Leia's arc and her persistence for good. That's the best way I could describe it. Her persistence to want to see the best in people, all people. So I was really pulled to that. And as far as the other cast, such as like Finn and Poe and the crazy girl that knocked Finn out the path of that Rey from The Last Jedi. Like, I really enjoyed seeing these characters, but there was a part of me that felt like we only saw them once or twice, and it wasn't enough for me to be like, damn, I have a connection to you, or damn, I want to know what happened to you, or damn, what are you doing, or damn, why aren't you in the movie? We got a lot of new characters, and I felt like we got these new characters and forgot about the old ones. Like, there's a tier list in these movies. There's the main action, there's the side action, there's the C action, there's the D action, and there's the F action, and then like everybody else for E. And if you in that E group, I'm sorry to say, I don't know who the fuck you were. There was a lot of cameos. You can tell when there's a cameo or there's a stormtrooper that's being disguised as a famous person. The camera just sits on them for a little bit longer. I found out that this person was in the movie, that person was in the movie. That's all fine and dandy, but I don't know who these people are, so cheers to you. The Rise of Skywalker couldn't stay airborne, so let's talk about. It is really bad when Jumanji, in its second week, is giving you Star Wars a run for your money, where they haven't seen a dip, and people are talking more about The Rock and Kevin Hart's performances than in a Star Wars performance. And I don't know if that's an issue with our generation, or maybe Star Wars isn't as hype as everyone gives it credit for, because to be honest, I don't see the hype. I really see this as like a very, like, not just this movie, but the whole catalog that I've seen thus far and everything that's been brummed up about Star Wars as very meh. Like, I get like there's this cult following for Star Wars, and I just don't see it. It's not my cup of tea. But this movie had a lot of issues. One, the breakneck speed. I know Star Wars for a fact is famous for the swipes, you know, that's something they're known for. But for some strange reason in this movie, those swipes was happening so often and so fast, I caught myself like following it, like my neck was snapping to it. There was so much in this movie that I felt could have been in a whole nother movie. It felt like this was supposed to be a 4-hour long movie, and it was cut down to 2 hours, and it was clearly not enough. There were plot holes and so many convenient things happening in this movie that I really started to question, oh shit, is this what they're talking about with the Force? Was this part of the Force? Like, I couldn't tell if something was happening just because of plot or because the Force. And when I can't discern a mechanic in your storytelling from your storytelling capabilities, you got a problem in your writing. And I'm not even a professional writer, and I know that. I know that when I start putting elements into my story to help progress the story along, I didn't do a good enough job starting off that baseline understanding of what's supposed to be happening. So a lot of what I saw in the movie that turned me off because of just from an aesthetic situation. There were things that were said multiple times that didn't pay off, and it was sort of implied, which is fine, but I don't think that's what Star Wars is all about. And I can see why some people are angry about that, because you don't wait 2 to 3 years for a movie to come out that you've been following religiously for 20 years just to get it's whatever you thought. And that's why I thought that's why I also admire the second movie in this trilogy and also despise this trilogy, because they set things in stone for a newcomer like me that I believed and that I took to heart, and kind of threw it all out the window. And when you read behind the scenes and hear how difficult it was for J.J. Abrams to finish this movie, and J.J. Abrams has a lot of things for him. He's known for the mystery box phenomenon, but I really enjoyed him because he was also responsible for my pickup and interest into Star Trek, which is a movie franchise I never watched until he took the reins. So I can understand how the Josh dude, the director of the second movie, may feel a little wounded by this, but it just goes to show you, like, if you don't plan accordingly, people can tell. And it kind of sucks having this happen to Disney, especially when they're responsible for making the MCU. And you can see the care and planning that went into the Marvel movies, but you don't see that same care and planning that goes into this movie. And by contrast, I believe Star Wars might be bigger. I don't know who's more popular, Luke Skywalker or Spider-Man. Cast your votes now, but I'll have the answers there. And the thing that kind of disappointed me about this movie is that nothing they said mattered. Nothing they did mattered. Nothing that happened mattered. In fact, the people who died didn't matter at the end of the day. And that was something that kind of struck me as, yeesh, you guys, in the effort to overcorrect and throw nostalgia at us, you damaged your product. So as much as this movie has probably done for me, is that it didn't stick the landing. I liked the first movie. I loved the first movie, to be honest, in this trilogy. I really enjoyed the second movie because it went in a drastic direction than I was expected or was prepared for. And then finally, the third movie just stumbled. It didn't hit the landing. It didn't resonate with me. I honestly thought to myself for a second that I had missed a movie. Like, I had missed a movie in the middle of this. Like, I was like, damn, what happened? Did I miss something? And just to go to show you, like, it's not that I don't think they didn't have good material. I mean, they had a situation where they had Finn. Finn's story is probably the most interesting story in the whole group. And John Boyega is a great actor, and he was left to be a sidekick to a side plot to a sidekick. He's the sidekick of a sidekick of a sidekick. That's too many sidekicks for John Boyega, who is a traitor of the First Order, who joins the resistance, climbs the ranks, and he doesn't seem to suffer any conflicts for that. And not only does he no longer feel special, they introduced the whole entire team of this guy. So it really took away from some of the more meaningful stories that could have been told about this movie. But you know, that's the bad. Let's get to the rating for this movie is quite simple. If I had read this review and I was on the verge of buying a ticket, I probably wouldn't have bought a ticket. And that's just facts. The movie was meh. And I can't really deal with that. The truth is, this movie suffers from too much shit happening in too little time. This movie doesn't flow to me. They mentioned twice that Finn has something important he wants to say to Rey. Rey, it's clear what Finn wants to say to Rey. He wants to say he loves her. But guess what? In the movie before this, the Asian girl was in love with him. And in this same movie that Finn is in love with Rey and that Asian girl's in love with him, he's also in love clearly with the black girl who is a female version of him. Why is Finn a pimp now? And why is this okay? Why come none of this was resolved for Finn? I really detest the ending of this movie because they have a three-way hug, which is just like the most Disney. You can tell that is the most Disney thing ever. Like, grow some balls. Like, but it would be weird because if Rey turns around, because Rey kisses Kylo Ren, and I don't know if y'all find this to be acceptable or not, but my man's an hour ago into the movie killed a whole entire race of people, and now he's out here kissing the protagonist. Like, did she always have the hots for him? Like, I mean, what? Does she hate him? Because she was definitely swinging that, and now it makes more sense. She was swinging that lightsaber like she was trying to kill him, and now she was trying to get in his pants. So that was the most inconsistent thing ever. And while we're on the topic of Rey, mention a Star Wars protagonist that has never suffered any injuries in the mainline movie. A protagonist in the movies who have never suffered an injury. I had to Google this shit. Luke lost an arm. Anakin became Vader. He lost half a body. Like, everybody in this movie suffers damage. Like, life-threatening damage. There's no point in Rey's trilogy do I ever feel she's in danger. Rey is OP beyond the scope of imagination. She literally wears white clothes throughout the whole entire trilogy and never gets them dirty. She is so safe in these movies, she can't even get dirty. That's not good character writing. I don't know shit about character writing, but I know that at the beginning of a movie and at the end of the movie, there should be a clear change or something that indicates growth. And Rey shows none of that. At the end of the movie and at the beginning of the movie, she's the same person. She doesn't know who she is in the beginning of the movie. She figures out who she is in the middle of the movie, and she goes on to continue to deny who she is at the end of the movie. What's going on there? What is going? I would have much more preferred the ball sack face guy is the bad guy in this movie, and his special power is lightning apparently, because he used that shit to destroy half the fleet of good guys, and then he has the blue beam battle, which is like, I don't know if all the creators of every movie today grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, but every movie from the Avengers, Age of Ultron, DC movies, they all have the big, the Fantastic Four stick. All these movies have a big blue light as the end boss battle scene, and it's the same in this movie. And I'm just sitting here wondering why Palpatine, ballsack face guy, who is the grandpappy of Rey, why that had to be. Furthermore, who fucked him? What happened? What did they fuck him as this or did they fuck him as that? Also, when he regenerated, why did he regenerate the wounds that he received in a different movie? Like if I cut myself and made a clone of myself, that clone of me won't have the marks that I have from my current body. It was so many things wrong with this movie. Like, my head hurts thinking about it. And yeah, the movie doesn't even deserve the grace that I gave it in the beginning. But you know, I saw it, and now I'm stuck with it. And just to wrap it all up and put a bow on it, at the end when they have the big final blowout, the one thing I know about the first movie is that they had the fucking the Death Star. And the Death Star had a glaring weakness, which was this red circle that if you shot missiles into it, the whole entire ship explodes. Has no one learned the lesson in 9 movies, or however long it's been in the Star Wars universe, that putting the weakness of your machine, of your death-killing spaceship on the outside of your ship is literally the ship's penis. Shoot the ship's penis and the ship explodes. That can't... The First Order... The First Order has come up with technology to destroy planets, but they have not figured out how to protect their weak points on their ships. There are too many conveniences in this movie for me to be able to be like, nah, that was the Force, or that's just plot armor, or that's just a plot device. Like the dagger, fuck the dagger. The piece that comes out of the dagger, this was literally a downed ship that had been broken into pieces, and here it is being used to pinpoint a plot device in the movie. This movie was literally a fetch quest from any video game you've ever played. It was so much of a video game that the end final blow from Rey to ballsack face guy was a Mortal Kombat's X-ray kill. Damn it, they got us. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate you being here. I can't believe they tricked us. Like, share, subscribe, do all that cool shit. I'll be here for my next review, next movie. If there's something you want me to watch in the past that you think I should watch and review it, you want my twist on it, put it in the comment section below. It was a video. I literally sat here and watched cutscenes. See you guys. I'm out of here.